Hi, it's Victoria Lorient Fabish, holistic psychotherapist. I'm responding to a video that a gentleman named Gilles sent me about is depression an addiction? So first I want to say to my lovely subscribers and friends of YouTube, I have been moving homes, I have been moving offices. It's been a crazy couple of months, so haven't been able to upload videos, but needed to definitely get to this video to tell you what I thought about this. So number one, to call depression an addiction, I feel does it a bit of a disservice, Gilles, and whomever's listening out there. Number one, we have circumstantial depression, we have chemical depression, and there is a sense in some people that depression can become habituated in that, remember I talk about in some of my previous videos about neural pathways. Neural pathways are going on in our brain and they correspond with beliefs that we have. The more hard and fast a belief is, the longer that belief has been part of you, the more that neural pathway becomes like a highway versus a footpath. That's a new belief. So yes, Gilles, if you have depression that is untreated, that's why I am so I'm a therapist and I'm a holistic psychotherapist. I'm pro treating it because the brain starts to change when you do not treat depression. And what happens is that those neural pathways of depression, those belief systems, and then of course all of the biochemicals of depression, the lack of serotonin, the imbalances in norepinephrine, it becomes like a solid state in the brain. So the longer the depression is untreated, the more difficult it is to leave that actual state of depression. So you may think it's an addiction, but it's not. And what an addiction implies is that somehow you're getting that addiction sort of implies, okay, I am, let's say, addiction to some sort of drug, and you get this high from it, and then you can't stop looking for that high. And then there's this whole chemical reaction in the body that says, I have to have that high. Listen, I've done a lot of work with people who are depressed, and I really don't feel that they get high from their depression. There may be a payoff, Gilles, like a benefit to remaining depressed, mentally ill, because somehow you don't want to lose the attention or the protection or the safety of depression. But everyone I work with who suffers from depression wants to be free of it. So in addiction, when you're really in that addiction, it's like, don't be bugging my addiction. It's like, I want to be on this drug. And I mean, I will get off this drug when I'm ready. Most people who have depression are saying, please help me because I'm no longer able to function. This depression is debilitating me. So it's a tough thing for me when I hear that. And I think for people who are depressed, you may think of it as an addiction, Gilles, because of what I just said about the neural pathways. But I feel it's too simple of an answer about depression, okay? Depression that is untreated will become this sort of repetitive experience that feeds into the depression. And then before you know it, I work with a client who's been depressed for 20 years, and he's come to see me in the last year. And we're working with supplements, and we're working with 5-HTP and inositol and fish oil, and that sort of has worked, and he's finally succumbed to the fact that he may need a chemical, like an antidepressant chemical. So anyways, he's sort of on board with all of this, but it's really weird for him to start having these chemicals be more normalized and more balanced, and have him go, okay, so now I'm not so afraid of going out or of talking to people or of experiencing joy, but that's really uncomfortable for him. So that might be what you're talking about, Gilles, in that it becomes this comfort zone to be unhappy. And this is a tough thing for people who've had long-term depression. Short-term depression is less the case because people have a memory of what it was like to not feel depressed. But those people who've been depressed for years and years and years and years, it's like there's a comfort zone. There's a sense of this is normal to be sad, to be depressed, to be unresponsive to life. So I want to say that it is very simple, too simplistic for me to have someone say, is depression an addiction? I would say categorically no, but there's some aspects of addiction that might apply to long-term depression. Okay? So I hope that helps, Giles. I wanted to definitely comment in a video format, and to those of you who are out there who are watching Giles's channel, you know, maybe this is somewhat helpful because I've been doing this work for a long time. Okay, as usual, please email me at askvictoria@rogers.com. Askvictoria@rogers.com. Send me your questions. Keep them short, please.